Both. Oh! There we go. Julia Hart.
Scheduled for one fall with a 20-minute time limit is for the TBS Championship. Introducing the challenger, accompanied by Brody King from Bloomington, Minnesota, honoring the House of Black, Julia Hart. New York, she is the TBS champion, Kris Statlander.
Taz is tagged out. Tony Schiavone has joined us at the desk tonight. And Tony, what a match for you to be on the call for.
Two red-hot ladies for the TBS title. Great to be joining you, Excalibur. You too, Nigel. How about what we've seen so far? Just a comment. Eddie Kingston and Shibata tore it up, didn't they?
They certainly did. They did Inoki-san proud,
yes,
and then some.
But I tell you, it's going to take a lot to dethrone Kris Statlander. I don't know if you're going to find a more powerful woman in the women's division than Kris Statlander.
She has been dominant as TBS champion, but Julia Hart presents a very interesting puzzle for Kris Statlander to solve.
So it is the power of the champion against the agility and cunning of the challenger.
May 11th, 2021, Julia Hart makes her AEW in-ring debut. It was a loss for Julia Hart to Kris Statlander.
But we have seen the change in Julia Hart, and really the change for the better since that time, Excalibur.
Most certainly. It was the mist, the indoctrination into the House of Black, and that was the metamorphosis for Julia Hart.
As she said, she was reborn. Didn't see her full potential before. Now over 24 bodies accounted for. Oh.
Statlander, the big elbow strike, and now coming in, looking for that knee, but Julia avoids contact.
Yeah, she had to get out of the way, had to get away of that power. She was sandwiched in the corner, and that was trouble for her.
A great start for Statlander, who's been using her power to advantage.
But Julia on target with the kick, but Statlander trucked her with the shoulder block.
We talked about it last night, the influence of Malachi Black. Cover.
The far leg is hooked.
You know, is it influence, though, Nigel, or is it just brainwashing? I mean, some people really think that, since he got the mist to the face.
Well, one man's influence is another man's brainwashing, perhaps, but either way, it's been effective for Julia Hart, who's been able to use those strikes to her advantage. Cover.
Here we go. Julia, the roll-up. Statlander able to kick out. April 25th, 2022. Julia Hart's last in-ring loss. It was Kris Statlander victorious once again. Since then, Julia Hart a 28-match unbeaten streak, but Statlander, the power on display, the agility of Julia Hart, great ring awareness.
We bring up her cheerleading background all the time, the agility it takes to be a competitive cheerleader, the athletic ability it takes. It's been on display for Julia Hart in the ring.
The strength of Statlander making all the difference in the world, Nigel.
Yes, indeed, but be that as it may, Hart doing the right thing, going to the outside, a little bit of space, a little bit of respite, and gives her the opportunity to take a shortcut and drag the champion out.
A handful of hair by Julia Hart dragging Kris Statlander out of the ring, and now Statlander just hoists up. Julia, Statlander, where's she going with Julia?
Look at this. Look at this. Holy smokes.
Just bringing her right back into the ring. Or maybe not, onto the apron as Brody King, ever present, almost like a bodyguard for Julia Hart. And Julia using that momentary distraction to her advantage.
That speaks to how intimidating Big Bad Brody King is. Didn't have to get involved physically with this match. His mere presence was enough to distract Statlander.
Yeah, it's an intimidating presence. Good call, Nigel. It really is outside.
And Julia repeatedly sending Statlander hard into the barricade. And Statlander, after that first one, Nigel, she came up clutching those ribs.
Well, the ribs, hold on. This isn't going to help.
The cover.
There is damage to the ribs every time you pin someone with the hook of the legs. More pressure. Now the full mount. Just ragdolling the champion.
Julia bouncing the head of Kris Statlander repeatedly off the mat. And
there she goes to the rib cage again from behind. You know, with Statlander, with those 2 knee injuries she sustained over the past couple of years, you would think going to the knees would be the way to go. But if you got the ribs going,
Julia off the back of Statlander with the senton, and now the leg is hooked again. And Julia coming into this match seemingly with the game plan. If the ribs of Kris Statlander are in fact compromised, that sets Julia up not only for that standing moonsault press that she likes to use, but the Heartless as well, that submission hold.
Indeed, the core, a big factor in that submission ability, but right now,
here we go.
Another version of the abdominal stretch. We've seen a few here tonight. I think everybody paying homage to the late, great Antonio Inoki. Certainly popularized the move.
Julia was hammering down on the ribs with that elbow as well. And now Statlander, she's trying to freeze her leg from Julia's. And then a hip toss, but again, you see Statlander not moving well.
Yeah, not much behind. I'm sorry, Nigel, not much behind that punch either, or that slap.
It's not just the pain of damage to the ribs, it affects your ability to breathe as well. And if you can't breathe, you lose energy pretty quick. Statlander needs all the energy she can get to all that power. There's some.
Desperation power slam, but Kris Statlander not able to capitalize on it.
Champion's hurt, needs to open her mouth wide, suck in as much oxygen as she can.
Like you were talking about, Nigel, she is heaving, she is trying to get a breath. You can see it.
Statlander in with the uppercut, and now the knee to the side of the head. Kris Statlander, Blue Thunder bomb, 2, and Julia able to kick out Statlander. It's not often you see her struggle pick up an opponent, Nigel.
Yeah, I think that speaks to the damage to the midsection and her core as well. Statlander seems a little bit stunned. Julia Hart has been able to get as much offense in thus far. Oh, wait a second. Could be looking for it.
The Sunday Night Fever, no. Statlander runs through the lariat attempt. Julia goes underneath, and a stumble there by Statlander. And Brody King trying to undermine the confidence of the champion.
And the champion needs to just walk away from Brody and not paying attention. Julia now from behind.
As Statlander up and...
She was looking for the miss.
Yeah, you could see it.
And Statlander caught her though. She didn't get the miss out. Instead,
the right hand, and now Statlander plants Julia Hart, 2, and Julia survives.
She was going for it. You called it, Nigel. The miss you saw when she slapped it right out of her mouth.
Deadlift German suplex.
Well, a fork in the road for Julia Hart and the House of Black now.
Kris Statlander fighting with a renewed sense of purpose here.
House of Black lost the World Trios titles. They want more gold. They need more power.
Oh, but Statlander took too long She likes that 450 splash off the top, but the ascent to the top rope with those injured ribs, just too much for Statlander.
Yeah, if she hits here, if Julia Hart hits this, Statlander is in major trouble.
Well, Statlander called Hart a spooky little bitch who said she was no match for the TBS champion. She's been a real bitch.
Both. Oh! Julia Hart launching Kris Statlander into the ring.
Now that's creepy.
And Julia could be on the verge. No. Statlander identifying the jeopardy, latching onto the leg. Oh, Statlander, she went down hard. Julia.
Here she goes.
Moonsault. She got it. 1, 2, and no.
The leg on the rope.
Kris Statlander, the injury, the compromised ribs. She needed that rope break, Nigel.
Indeed had to. Couldn't have kicked out otherwise. A banshee shriek from Hart. Look, could be looking for the Heartless submission. Couldn't complete it.
Nope. Oh, and Statlander dropping down. Julia looking for Heartless once again. Oh, it's in. Good. It's in center of the ring. Statlander.
Flailing like a fish in the center. Hold on.
No. The reversal. The roll up. And no. Julia still hanging on.
These incredible leg power again by Statlander. Amazing.
Statlander snakes her hand through. Gets Julia up onto the shoulders. Oh, wait a second. Tombstone pile driver.
That's going to do it again.
And now, the overhead Sunday Night Fever. 2, 3.
The winner of this match, and still the TBS champion, Kris Statlander.
What a win by Kris Statlander, but what an effort by Julia Hart here tonight.
I echo that, Excalibur. Julia Hart really pushed Kris Statlander, had her hurt.
You know what Statlander was thinking of there, grabbing the leg, but you can see how close Julia Hart came to defeating the TBS champion. To your point, Excalibur, had it not been for the foot on the ropes, we might have seen new champion. But ultimately, these two devastating maneuvers, one after the other, were enough to take any hope from Julia Hart. But I've got to say this, fellas, that was the toughest test I've ever seen Statlander have.
Absolutely, good call. It was, and now 15-0 here in 2023, and still a champ, Kris Statlander.
And Julia Hart being brought to the back by Brody King, the House of Black. Unsuccessful in their efforts to bring gold, bring championships back to their organization.